Good morning, band members. I am Mr. Rogers, once again with the Sonora Elementary Bobcat Band. Hey, some of you might recognize this guy, Homestar, from Homestar Runner. Yeah? So, he's from back in the ancient times of the internet, back when I was in 7th and 8th grade. That's when Homestar Runner came about. Also, for those of you who don't know what dial-up internet is, go ahead and ask your parents to simulate for you the sound of what it was like to go on the internet back in the day with dial-up. So, there you go. My brother made this for me down in Riverside. Thanks, bro. Yeah. Hey, this is number 136. We're going to sight read it together today. It's Finlandia. Now, Sibelius, the composer of this theme, he was a Finnish composer from the mid-1800s all the way through the mid-1900s. Very famous symphonic composer. And he was really into writing a style of music called tone poetry. We would call this a tone poem. Usually performed by a symphony orchestra. It's typically a shorter work of music than a full-on symphony. For those of you who may not know, a symphony is a 3-movement, really long piece, usually an hour and a half long, sometimes longer. And it's in 3 movements, usually kind of like a medium fast, slow, then a fast movement at the end. Doesn't have to be that way. There are just many symphonies that are written that way. This is from a tone poem, and here we go. Let's go ahead and look at the repeat signs. You'll notice that there's a first and a second ending. We just learned about first and second endings recently through this book. A lot of us are already familiar with it because of other music that we performed when we were at school together, right? So look at where it says first ending. Should be 2 measures long. It's the bracket with the 1 in it. After those 2 measures, you're going to go back to the repeat sign where it says mezzo forte. So not to the beginning, you're going back to the repeat sign. We call it the beginning repeat sign, the begin, whatever. Some people have different words for it, but call it the beginning repeat sign. We head over. The second time through, when you arrive at the first ending, do you play the first ending? No, you do not. You go to the second ending instead. So imagine that you've played all the way through the first ending. You go back to the beginning repeat sign. Then you arrive at the first ending. You go to the second ending instead. All right? Look at your dynamics, crescendos, decrescendos. You get louder, you get softer. Dynamics are a big deal in this theme. So right now, oh, and andante. About that tempo, okay? I want you to sight read about there. So now is the time for you to pause the video and sight read on your own. Go ahead and do that. All right, it's a pretty theme. Remember, it's really important. This camera's going out of focus a little bit. The sun is behind a tree right now, so I'm kind of in the shade. Sorry if I look like kind of in the shadows. So we've got lots of expressive passages throughout here, lots of legato passages, and mostly tenuto in some sections, but you'll see those slurs that connect the quarter notes on measure 1 and measure 5, right? And on the last line, that first measure of the third line, okay? So let's play it together. Remember, you rest on beat 1, so take a breath on 1. I'll say 1, 2, ready, go. Di, da. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ready, go. That is beautiful writing right there. When you look at that second ending, in fact, look at the third line all the way to the left. You have a dynamic marking of piano. Now you're going to keep playing soft all the way through that second ending. Look at the last measure. What is that below your whole note at the end? Are you going to get louder or softer? You're going to get softer because it's a decrescendo. You're already playing piano though. So, in this case, you should be fading into nothing. That's what the composer's after here. So let's start from the third line. We're going to go to the second ending instead of the first ending. All right, here we go. Rest on beat 1. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. That's the technique that a lot of composers are after at the end of a piece, or in this case, the theme itself. So, tone poems are, this is a part of tone poetry that I did not quite explain. It's based off the theme of a written poem, right, in written language. And it's supposed to match up with the, there's a word on the tip of my tongue. It's to go along with the theme of the poem itself and to go along with the storyline, whatever it's trying to portray. So sometimes poems are performed along with somebody reciting the poem, or in a lot of cases not. I've heard and seen both. So really you want to capture the sound, the feelings of the poem within the music itself. So there you have it. Hey, I'm going to upload another video in just a moment. If you want to play through this with me again, go ahead and rewind the video. Practice it. This is a really cool piece of music. All right. See you again soon.